Straw Hut Media.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Genuinely Gigi. I haven't said this in a long time, but please subscribe. Please write a review and rate my show. Come on, I'm only here because of you guys, and I appreciate everything you guys have done so far, so keep watching. Today is a really, really cool episode. It's like, I think all of you wish you were in my chair right now so you can ask Theresa Cheung so many questions. She is very tapped into spirituality, intuition, and things about the unknown. And we are going to dive deep in what dreams really mean. I asked Theresa a couple questions. Because of my cannabis consumption, I do not have REM sleep. So I really asked her about that, and also a childhood recurring dream that I just cannot ever forget. Let's ask Theresa.
You know her from Shaws of Sunset. You know she doesn't hold back.
I have been always able to change the course of my dream while I'm dreaming. I can change the scenery. I can tell myself to do things in my dream.
This is Genuinely Gigi.
We've been having some technical issues, and this is our third attempt at trying to do this, and it's actually working great, but it's at 11:11, and I said this is our third time doing it, and it's at 11:11. That must mean something. And I was being sarcastic, and Theresa says, yes, it does, actually. I can explain that to you. I would love for you to explain that, because I make fun of all of my girlfriends and ex-boyfriends. Anytime I would get one of those 11:11 texts, I'm like, oh, geez, our brain chooses to see things at a certain time. Tell me, Theresa, what does it mean?
I mean, you're talking about confirmation bias there. If you are thinking about something, then you tend to be more likely to see it, of course. But, you know, Einstein once said there are two ways of looking at the world. One is if everything's a miracle, and one of is nothing is a miracle. So let's take the glass half full approach and consider it a cosmic sign. Now, you know, God has been often called the master mathematician. The universe consists of numbers. And in numerology, 11 is really powerful because it's a repeating number. Number 1 is all about new starts and new beginnings and spiritual awakening. So if you see it repeating like that, it's like the cosmos is sending you a giant wake-up call. This is your moment. This is your time to look within and find deeper meaning to your life. And of course, we're in 2022 now, which has been a year like no other. And numerologists
Theresa,
would have predicted
didn't
that.
we as humans create time? We created the number, for instance, 11, and we assigned it that, right? So I believe in a lot of energy, and I'm sure a lot of people out there believe in both sides, because I deal, especially living in LA, you definitely deal with extremely both sides of the equation. But I feel like, yes, there is energy. I believe in spirituality. I believe in the planets. I just start questioning when people say something like the repetition of numbers, because I'm like, well, that was man-made. Numbers, we designed that. So is there relevance?
Yes, but that's only if you come from it of the perspective that you are a human being having a spiritual experience. I come from it of the perspective that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Therefore, what we create comes from soul. You know, that we're talking about consciousness, the inner world, our inner being, the spark of the divine, if you want to call it that, the part of you that may be infinite and eternal, because the whole universe consists of energy. We saw these recently released shots from NASA, and they're saying, oh, the universe is even deeper than we thought. We're made of the same particles as those stars.
Absolutely.
Right? Everything is energy. So if you look at it from that perspective, that's why you can start seeing signs and coincidences, or what Jung called synchronicity.
Yes.
And it's what you put into it, the power of belief. We're going into manifestation here, which is huge at the moment, especially online, you know, the power of your belief. But I think there's a lot of misinterpretation about what manifestation is. It's not positive thinking, actually. It's not actually about making all your dreams come true. That is a byproduct. What manifestation really is finding gratitude and joy and meaning right here, right now. It's not me, for example, you know, obviously you're a huge star and I'm nervous about this interview thinking, if the interview goes well, I'll be happy. It's me in this moment, just feeling good and loving the fact that I have the privilege and the opportunity to speak to you and talk about what I'm passionate about. And then if you find joy in every present moment, you build the momentum. And that momentum somehow attracts better things into your life. That's manifestation, really. I've gone on a tangent, but
no, you know, and I agree with everything that you just said, except the part about coincidences, because I don't believe in coincidences. Now, I'm an extreme logical person. So I'm also the extreme opposite polar end of some belief systems. But I do believe that we are all stardust. I believe that we all came from stardust. I believe everything that exists in our universe that we can understand is stardust. And we see how vast it is out there. We know nothing. Like you said, we are now seeing new photos from NASA that's just showing our galaxy to be less than a microscopic speck in this vast, I don't even know what to call it, whatever it is, right? I think sometimes in my opinion, I believe that some people or groups of people choose certain routes that are easier for them to live by or to die by, like religion, for instance, organized forms of belief, cults, anything that allows someone to think this is easier for me to live. I have an excuse. I have a justification. I don't think that there is anything other than science to prove that we are energy, that we are stardust. It's been proven by science. So it's not like if you believe that, you know what, I would say if you don't believe that, there's something very wrong with you, right? Your perspective has been a little off if you don't realize that, because the science says that. We have a Bible and that says God did all that. And then we have science that shows something very different. So to each their own in their form of belief, but nothing can be denied about energy. We all feel energy. It's how we explain love. It's how we explain so many things that we experience on a second to second, moment by moment of our lives that we don't realize it's energy.
You're a philosopher and a scientist.
How have you been able to do that? You're researching and you are teaching. How does that go how does it work? How does it look to learn from you?
To learn from me is, I hope after people read my books or listen to me rambling somewhere, I do a lot of media about dreams and spirituality and the importance of looking within, that people go away being more self-reliant and self-loving. Because for me, that's the start of spiritual growth. I mean, too many people come to spirituality having a terrible lack of understanding of who they really are and really no respect for themselves, and they're trying to get their identity from a belief set. Because I don't actually prescribe any religion or fixed set of beliefs. What I prescribe is looking within and understanding yourself, because self-knowledge is the beginning of all wisdom. If you don't understand yourself, if you can't help yourself, if you can't love yourself, how on earth do you think you can be a force for positive change? So anyone listening, please change yourself before changing the world. Too much problems in the world are people who are really wounded deep within, trying to heal that wound externally, from stuff, from relationships, from money, from popularity, from how they look, from what others say about them, fulfilling the expectations of others. Too many people are trying to find healing and wholeness outside in. And what I'm trying to promote, and I have done for the last 25, 30 years since I started writing, it's inside out. That's how you start. And that's where dream work is so important, because I've done a lot of media about spirituality, but the media is quite reluctant to talk about spirituality, understandably, or the afterlife if it exists. They will, however, talk to me about dreams, because whoever you are, whether you're a skeptic or not, you still dream. Now, that's an ultimate mystery. Science doesn't know really why we dream. Those incredible stories and plots that are revealed to us night after night after night. What is going on? And what I try to say is that by decoding and understanding the meaning of those dreams, you start to understand who you are, because dreams really are your nocturnal intuition talking to you in symbols, which is up to you to decode. So you become a detective of your own life. You start to fall in love with yourself. We've had a dream. You wake up and you start reflecting, what did that mean? Because so many people just bash around in their life, not reflecting on the deeper meaning of why they're doing things.
Right.
And that's why dream work is so healing, and research has shown that it is. You know, it's used for people healing from trauma, for veterans. Starting to do some dream work can be very, very powerful personal growth tool.
I was reading about you, Theresa, and again, there's just so much written about you, and you have written so much, and I've identified and I agree and I see likewise with you on so many of these things. And like you just brought up dreams, this is the one area that I was very interested to really be able to talk to you about, because my whole life, I was a very, very vivid dreamer. My dreams, I still to this day can remember almost every dream I've ever had, I feel. I have been always able to change the course of my dream while I'm dreaming. I can change the scenery. I can tell myself to do things in my dream. Where it got sort of in the way of my sleeping, it became a sort of insomnia. I was unable to sleep. My dreams were interfering with my life. I don't know why. I just couldn't sleep. I mean, for many, many years, I was taking sleeping medications. It's easy for doctors to just obviously give the Western version of the remedy, just pop a pill, you'll go right to sleep. I started getting more, I don't know, my dreams just started becoming more intense and out of my grip at this point. So the only thing that I sort of came upon was cannabis. And cannabis, I didn't come upon it for my sleep or anything at that time. I have an autoimmune disease and I'm on methotrexate, which is a form of chemotherapy. So I was sort of fighting the side effects and the inflammatory help that it was giving for my autoimmune. And then I noticed I'm sleeping like a baby at night. And then I noticed the more I was consuming of cannabis, I'm now not dreaming anymore. So I am at a point where I don't dream.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back,
I go to Dream Dictionary, to like the many ones I've written or whatever, and look for meanings and whatever. But dreams are a series. They're like Netflix. I mean, Sandman is on at the moment. It's number one on Netflix. It's all about dreams.
Top rated.
Dream.
Yes, it is.
Sling TV has something for everyone. All your favorite shows on your favorite channels, all right at your fingertips. What you watch is up to you. It really just depends on what kind of mood you're in. So if you're looking for sports, Sling's got you covered with pro and college football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, racing, and so much more. Sling also has reality TV, and this is why I have Sling, so you can keep up with the latest gossip, the today's hottest shows on channels like TLC, Bravo, MTV, and more. So guys, this is why I ordered Sling, is because you can watch your favorite reality shows in real time. So I'm talking East Coast time when they are airing for the first time. So when you go on Watch What Happens Live, you can actually tweet in and comment in real time, because if you watch it in LA time, you're not going to be able to do that, which is really lame. It's worth it, guys. And don't forget about news, because you can get up to date with today's most trusted sources like CNN and MSNBC. Feeling adventurous? Explore thousands of movies and shows on demand. So what kind of mood are you in? No matter what your answer, Sling has what you need. Getting Sling is easy. Sign up and start watching in just 5 minutes. You can stream on any device and record up to 50 hours with included DVR space. And the best part is you can pause or customize your subscription at any time. So check out sling.com for special offers. Try it today. Sling, the TV you love for a price you'll love.
I'm a researcher, just as you, Theresa. I research the hell out of everything. So I realized after reading was that cannabis shuts off your REM part of sleep. What I really wanted to talk to you about was, what are dreams? Do we need to have them? By not having it, am I creating a stress factor in my life? I have seen research that says science can't prove the benefits of dreams, but I I don't know. I just can't seem to believe that. So, Theresa, can you tell us a little bit about what are dreams?
Thank you so much for sharing all this. There's so much I want to say to you. First of all, obviously, the priority is your health at the moment, getting a good night's sleep. You're a mum, you've got a busy life. So I'm all for a good night's sleep. And if your dreams bordering on nightmares, it sounds like, and your lucid dreaming was starting to interfere with your sleep, this is probably a good thing that you're going through a period. I mean, we all go through our periods of our lives when we don't recall our dreams as much. So just don't panic about it. But I think, what are dreams? Dreams are your intuition talking to you, your creativity, your inner world, the part of you that wants to know the deeper meaning in life. Now, you talked about the science. Yes, there is science to show that dreams don't matter, but there's also science to show that dreams are very good for your holistic well-being. Indeed, when people are deprived of REM sleep, as you're suggesting that you may be now, they do report higher anxiety during the day. So just watch out for that. REM sleep, we need all the stages of sleep. You do actually dream. You are actually dreaming, you're just not recalling it, because you do dream in the other stages of sleep, just not as much. REM stage sleep is the one you dream the most. You can have, misty dreams in the other stages, but REM sleep is where it all happens. And it's also the source of infinite creativity, REM sleep. If you think of the number of inventions, novels, works of art, literature, movies, even Google, was inspired by a vision in a dream. So you're kind of like starving yourself of an incredible resource of creativity. What I'd love you to do, and I hope this conversation helps, is to not have this attitude that your dreams are keeping you awake, because your dreams are reflecting your anxiety about them back to you. If you just sort of say, I love my dreams, you say you can influence your dreams. So why are they keeping you awake? If you can influence your dreams when you're asleep, tell your dreams.
I actually have to say, I loved my dreams and they were not nightmares. I had so much control over my dreams that when I noticed that it was getting tense or aggressive or violent in my dream, I was able to stop the dream and turn it into something else. I felt like my brain was never shutting off. I was fully in my sleep.
Our brains, it's a myth that we sleep. We are switched on 24/7. We are infinite and we are eternal. So that's just something, don't worry about. I know you want to shut off. Our body shuts down and most of our brain does. But there's a part of our brain that's always alert, always watching. It's that, we are 24/7 switched on. And don't fear that. It's actually incredible potential there for you to dip into. And the fact that you were having so many dreams, they were like screaming at you, notice me, your inner world.
Yes.
Notice me, find the deeper meaning to your life. Right now is the time. It's not out there. It's not out there what you want. It's within me. It's all within me. Other people are not going to complete me. My career's not going to. These things all help. These are learning experiences. I mean, these material things we have are either lessons or blessings. And I think the reason we're here on this planet is to learn and grow. So they're all to help you evolve. But the true magic and potential for you is within. And if you do have this ability to lucid dream, that's quite rare and incredible. Treasure it. Write down those dreams. Brainstorm all those symbols. They're trying to tell you something about what the next step in your life should be. They're also very cathartic. They're trying to get rid of past trauma for you. They're trying to help and heal you. Nightmares and anxiety images, I know you said you don't have nightmares, but disturbing images in dreams are actually very healing, because you get to meet your shadow, and when you go in the dream world, you meet all aspects of yourself symbolically represented. And sometimes that's quite alarming to see just how rich and complex and how many aspects of our personality are out there. That's quite alarming. But what you can do in the dream state is actually get comfortable with all of you, both your toxic potential and your positive potential, because we've got both. There is night and there is day.
Right.
Every person is a mix of dangerous impulses and more positive healing impulses. But it's when you're awake and you're conscious and your reason, your logic take over, it's what you choose to do with that potential within you that makes the woman, that makes the man. That is true inner strength. That is true courage. What part of you choose to feed. And dreams are giving you a snapshot of the whole of mirrors that is within you, all these symbols and metaphors in your dreams that you encounter. Nothing is trivial in a dream. And the fact that the universe was sending you so many dreams and you were so aware of them when you woke up, my goodness, that is a blessing. I'm jealous because I'm a dream author. And
I don't know. Well, you know what? Maybe it's because I feel like I'm turned on mentally all day long. And I get so envious of those people in TV shows or in real life where they just say, I just had such a good sleep. And then I'm thinking, oh my God, I just slept through 5 hours of an action movie that I had to mentally control the whole narrative of it. I'm exhausted.
I'm going to suggest that for helping you switch off, it won't necessarily be in sleep because you are obviously highly creative and, your soul has a lot to say to you. So that chatter's not going to stop. But if you wanted to find some inner peace, meditation, mindfulness, we hear a lot about that. Meditation's very simple. It's just simply paying attention to your breath, calming down that way. That's the way you'll get a break.
Yes. I mean, for now, it's a very leafy green that helps me instead of meditation. It's been working for an array of things for me. But, can I ask for you, they're probably quite remedial questions, but I'm sure for the listeners out there, it's very basic questions like, what does it mean when you're falling in a dream?
Oh, it's the number one reported dream, actually, because there's a dream chart, because I work with sleep and dream researchers. There is actually a dream chart, and they chart the top 100 or top 10, and number one is usually in the top 10. Falling is usually in the top 10. And it basically means that you're feeling a bit unsupported. And it's time that you're sort of heading in a direction and you need to course correct, unless you are enjoying falling in your dream, because feelings are a big indicator of the meaning of the dream. Then it just means just go with the flow. However, if you're panicking when you're falling, it suggests that in your waking life, something needs to course correct. You are heading in the wrong direction. So just pay attention to your current circumstances. Dreams, people make the mistake of thinking that dreams are about the distant past. They're very current. Dreams are about what's happening right now. The power of now. It's all about what's happening right now in your life. Sometimes they use symbols from your past to get that message across, right? Because it will resonate with you. But it's about what's happening in your life right now. And also another dream interpretation tip, which is really important. People get hung up on interpreting one big dream that they've had. And they go to dream dictionaries, like the many ones I've written or whatever, and look for meanings and whatever. But dreams are a series. They're like Netflix. I mean, Sandman is on at the moment. It's number one on Netflix. It's all about dreams. Top rated. I love it. I mean, I couldn't be happier that the the King of Dreams, Sandman, is number one. It's all about the power of dreams.
A lot of people have these questions.
They're a series. So what you need, that's why keeping a dream journal is important, because you write down one dream and then the dream the next night will comment on and enhance it. It's like a long running series that never stops. Yes. Really. And you need to look at your dreams in hindsight over a period of time, because what you will see then is that your dreaming mind is like a voiceover, a commentary. But again, it speaks in this very difficult to understand symbolic language. Now, back in ancient times, we had a better understanding to think in metaphors and symbols, like the moon is intuition, the sun is warmth.
We were primitive, yes.
We've become a bit more superficial, though, as well. Yes. We look very much on the surface level. Yes. And dreams are always what lies beneath. Look beneath the meaning. And what I hope that anybody who does work with me or whatever is that by the end, they are actually looking at their waking life as a dream as well, to interpret and look beneath the meaning. That they actually, in their waking reality, that if this was in a dream, what would it mean?
It's all quite therapeutic. It's very therapeutic. What about people? I mean, my producer here, Ryan, my mother, there's lots of people I hear say all the time, I don't dream. I never have dreams. And I know that's everyone dreams. You just don't remember. Why do some people have the inability to remember their dreams?
I know many people like that. They often write to me saying, I love what you do and I love what you're saying, but I can't remember my dreams. I don't dream. You're right. Research shows we dream at least 5 or 6 times a night, but you're not recalling it. Now, the number one reason is your attitude towards dreams. Right? It's like if you're thinking dreams are trivial, they mean nothing, and you've been taught from school age onwards, they're random misfirings of the brain. Of course, your dreaming mind is going to be depressed. It's not going to want to speak to someone who doesn't want to hear what it has to say. So first of all, change your attitude towards dreams. Then immerse yourself in dream literature. Or if you love movies, watch something like Inception, that 2010 movie which just made dreaming cool. Watch movies about dreams. Sandman, as I say, is so current. It's on right now. And to actually sort of like start thinking in this dream language. That is the number one thing. Number 2, alarm clocks are the enemy of dream recall, because when you wake up, the first 2 or 3 minutes are crucial for recall, because you're still in an unconscious state where your intuition, your imagination, your creativity are unleashed. But when you wake up, your brain goes from that theta, those deep sleep stages, through to theta, through to the more awake stages where consciousness, reason, and logic rule. And your gentle dreaming mind cannot compete with the waking state. So as you wake up, just transition a bit slowly. Stay in the same position that you woke up in, that you mirror the state that you're sleeping in, and keep your eyes closed, because then your waking mind will think, hey, I'm still dreaming. That is a really good tip. Just 2 minutes is the optimum time for dream recall.
I'd love to hear from Ryan. Yeah. You going to give it a try, Ryan? You going to give it a shot? Ryan's going to give it a shot and we're going to hear back from him. I often
set the intention to
when I do have dreams, because yes, my REM dreaming no longer exists anymore. But I do have, like you said, a little bit hazy dreaming throughout the night that I can, since the cannabis. But there's often times I will wake up, that one moment between REM, your final REM, and your waking up consciousness. There's this moment where I'm aware of that in between, and it's a little bit out of body in that one split of a second. And I often go into a cry. That's almost like a, and then it stops. It goes, it's almost like, I don't cry. I'm not a crier. You could trust me. Nothing really makes me cry. So and I'm a logical person. So I try to understand what is happening to me in that. Why am I so hyper aware of my mind through these sleep and REM and transitioning periods?
I think your soul's urging you to cry, because not all tears are an evil. Tears are wonderfully healing as well, to release and to let go.
Yes.
It's important that you release and let go. And that twilight stage, as I say, is absolutely beautiful, because you kind of get a glimpse of infinite possibility, the mystery of who you are in those moments. It's utterly beautiful, and it should fill you with joy, really. And maybe it is tears of joy that you're realizing this isn't all there is. This stuff, this world, it's not all there is. There's something more infinite about me, and this is exciting. So maybe it's a kind of an awakening. I hope so. But I do also, I don't like that you're not having REM. All stages of sleep. I know it's important for you right now, but I do hope that does course correct, and that you start dreaming and loving your dreams again. Because, they could be a source of a great novel for you, or a screenplay, or a song, or a project. It's all in there. Yes. In the dreaming state. And I could quote invention, book. I mean, Frankenstein, the first sci-fi novel, a dream. Salvador Dali's art, a dream. Many of Stephen King's greatest works inspired by a dream.
Yes, it is.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back...
But maybe maybe it's all part of your journey, that you needed all these shocks, these challenges, these setbacks, these problems, because the growth potential. Maybe this is the path you need to be, that you can ultimately actually be a real force of inspiration to others.
I'm not afraid of the dreams. It just happens to be working together that I am consuming the cannabis for my body. And also I don't need insomnia pills anymore because it's allowing me to sleep, and it just so happens to shut off the REM part of my sleep and dream process. But to be quite honest, when I compare it to what my life would be like without the cannabis, I would choose missing out on that, first 60 to 90 minutes of REM.
Do you take naps?
I don't. I cannot nap. For me, a nap is the deepest sleep I ever experienced. Therefore, I could never really come out of it. It feels like the worst jet lag coma I ever have. Same. Yeah, I can't. So I absolutely cannot nap. I'm up by 4:45, 5 a.m. every morning. I'm down by about 11 p.m. every night. I go into a deep sleep until, again, 4:45, 5, and I'm up and go. I've always had I love my dreams, and a lot of people never understood when I would say I really love it because I can control them. And when you learn how to control your dream, it's something very spectacular. But as a child, obviously, I didn't have this ability or understanding. And I would have this one recurring dream, which I really wanted to ask you about. When I was very problematic. I know this is our first time meeting. For all those people out there who have known me for a long time with the TV world, I was a bit of a troublemaker, always, my whole life growing up. And so for that, I was in therapy from a very, very young age. It's very typical of parents to always, just throw the kid into therapy without healing themselves. But I was in therapy from a very young age, about 10, 11. I mean, I started doing drugs when I was 11 and a half. So that goes there. When I was about 13, I had got kicked out of so many schools, but I had this therapist. Her name is Wendy Fisher. And I will never, ever forget this bitch. She told me that I was going to be dead or in jail for life by the time I was 18. If I just was, now this is my therapist, mind you, and I'm 13 years old. I'm hearing this. I'm thinking, geez, because at this point she's saying I need to come to therapy 2 to 3 times per week. So she's like, if you don't and you keep continuing, but she was also a dream analyzer. She always would analyze dreams, and she did a lot of therapy by asking me my dreams. And because my dreams were so clear and vivid, it helped a lot, but she was such a POS, you know what I mean? So now everything that she has told me, I second guess, was this true, or was she just an asshole, telling me random things, thinking I have problems? But this one dream that I had, a recurring dream, I was maybe, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old, and I would have it for years. I was being kidnapped by 3 men. And one of the men is carrying me over his shoulders, and they're running down a path. And I am also chasing them as well. So I'm on the guy's shoulder and I'm chasing them. And there's a peel of an orange. My father, when I was younger, used to peel oranges in like a flower, kind of a one long ring, like a spring. And there was this orange peel, and it was coming and it was wrapping around my body. And it was making me stuck that I couldn't go save myself. So this dream kept coming up all the time. And now as an adult, through fucking 30 million years of therapy, I have an understanding. I had a lot of issues with my father as a child. I was never really enough for him. I come from an academic family, so my dad didn't even come to my graduation. He said I had a 4.0 GPA. I should have had a 4.2. And I was like, 11 years old at that time. So I understand that orange peel perhaps was representing my father, but I didn't understand me chasing me, at such a young age. Is this my subconscious mind telling me that I'm trying to save myself? What was this dream? If you could.
I'll do my best. And first of all, though, thank you for inviting me on. Given the background, I didn't know that you'd had a difficult experience with a previous dream analyzer therapist. So this is incredible. Thank you Thank you for that. That therapist makes me very, very disturbed saying things like that to a young child, because by asking you to share your dreams, what she's doing is she's really getting an intimate understanding of your psychology. And that's why I always treat when people share dreams, and when your friends do, anyone listening, if people share their dreams with you like you just have, it's a really sacred moment because you're getting a glimpse of their soul. This is really, really sacred. And I'm so sorry that trust
Thank you.
that little child had was abused. That dream is all about your relationship, because everything in a dream is an aspect of yourself. As I say, it's a hall of mirrors. It is about your relationship to the masculine, the men in your life, but also the masculine tendencies within you, your desire to be assertive. It's all about that tussle and trying to understand, well, I'm a woman, but I need to be assertive. How do I do that? I've not had proper role models. The kidnap scenario is something happening against your will, that the men in your life are imposing things on you or taking you places or doing things to you that you are not in line with. And yes, you are trying to save yourself, but at that time, you're such a young child. What I would suggest is that if you get a time to daydream, to go back and revisit that dream.
I've tried so many times. With the ability to understand and actually view my dreams as I'm dreaming, I have tried so many times to revisit it. I can't seem to grasp it. But
not in the dream state, when you're awake, daydreaming, or to write it down, the dream, and actually change the plot. It sounds really simple, but rewriting your dreams and changing the plot to how you ended it. So in that scenario, I'd like you to kick ass. I'd like you to not be kidnapped. I'd like you to not have the orange peel after you. I'd like you to be Wonder Woman in it and just escape. Just rewrite it or rethink it. And your brain will take note. It will be very healing that. But your dreaming mind then, what it was trying to do, it was trying to warn you. It was trying to tell you that as you go through life, the men in your life are going to be disruptive.
And I grew up to become very alpha. I grew up a very alpha, independent woman. I mean, I got a sperm donor to have a son. That's how much I have this opposition to men. And I'm not even a lesbian. You know, I love dick.
Yeah.
You know, I should say.
The programming you had as a child, you see, and I think the reason all these dreams are coming back through, because men are okay. Most men aren't like that.
Yeah.
There's some wonderful men out there, and it's allowing that masculine energy to come into your life. Your dream mind's trying to help you. That is the past. Let it go. It's gone.
Yes.
It's, every moment you recreate who you are. You don't need to be defined by all these past versions of yourself. The you are right now is totally new. Every morning when you wake up, you are born anew. I mean, there's a wonderful tribe called the Para who believe that actually if you sleep too long, you become a different person the next morning. And they call themselves a different name, and it's called the napping tribe. They only nap because they don't like to sleep too long, because they fear that they want to retain their identity. It's fascinating culture. I mean, a lot of it's to do with fear of being bitten by a snake, but they are actually one of the most happiest tribes on earth. They're known to be. And could it be because of their attitude towards sleep being something deeply sacred, and that if you sleep for too long, you wake up a brand new person because your cells recalibrate, you've dreamed, you've gone to your, the soul, heaven, wherever. So, I mean, let all that go, rewrite that dream. But my goodness, as a child, to have that vivid dream, you were already having your own back then, looking out for yourself. Your unconscious was trying to warn you and help you. But maybe it's all part of your journey that you needed all these shocks, these challenges, these setbacks, these problems, because the growth potential, maybe this is the path you need to be, that you can ultimately actually be a real force of inspiration to others. There'll be many people listening to you who will have had many of the issues that you've gone through. And you don't talk at it in a superficial way. You've been there. You're actually very similar. Actually, 2019, I did Under the Skin with Russell Brand. And he was having a very similar description of his dreams, because he'd been really to hell and back. And he was talking about how it is nightmares and whatever. And this is very interesting. And I remember saying to him at the time that this was so powerful, what he was saying on air, because it would really help people understand that their dreams are not attacking them. Their dreams are not to fear. Your dreams are trying to heal you. They're trying to cathartically release all that's been dragging you down, and they're trying to point you in the only way they know how, through symbols and metaphors and shocking things, in the right direction. And of course, kidnap, death, murder, all these things, you're more likely to remember it when you wake up. If you're constantly dreaming of skipping through a field, it's not that memorable.
Yes.
But that's life, isn't it? Because life is about the journey and not the destination. And that's why we love all these epic things like Harry Potter, or Lord of the Rings, or all these things. It's the journey that we love. You know, if say the Lord of the Rings was set in the Shire, we'd all get so bored. We need that journey to Mordor, and you're on your journey to Mordor. You will survive, and you've got to believe that you will.
Thank you. You're so sweet. You're very, very inspirational, motivational. I really enjoy your perspective. It's not just entertaining, but it's also knowledgeable, because I do believe in these things that you're talking about. So maybe for some people it's just entertaining conversation, but for me it's really both, because it's so true. And the entertaining part to it is because of the unknown aspect. It's so unknown and so real that there's this little bit of fear that's a bit of a turn on. You know, what is out there? What are our dreams? So being able to dive in and really understand more and learn more, you've provided that for us by writing all these books. Bella Hadid has posted about your dreams book, your dreams from A to Z book. So I encourage everyone to just go out there and get one of Theresa Cheung's books. If you're into dreams and want to learn more, pick up her books on dreams. You have so many books about so many different understandings of intuition, consciousness, spirituality. So I encourage everyone to go pick up at least one of your books, if not all of them, and learn a little bit more about yourself, because it all starts with ourselves, and what we manifest, that is the power of intention. Thank you so much for being here, Theresa. Where could people find you if they're looking for you?
I'm just mesmerized by your story and all that you're saying and your energy. You are going to inspire so many people. I can feel that in the future for you. I'm not a psychic, but I just feel that you're going through all this.
That's my dream, is to do that. Public speaking is one of my dreams, to just be able to talk to people.
All these things are waiting. I feel it, because you will be real.
Really?
People. You know, you have that ability to do that. And as I say, your dreaming mind knows that already. Now, if you're dreaming about all these things and you can influence your dreams, your intuition, your unconscious already believes who you can be. The next step is just for you to believe.
Absolutely. If the mind can believe it, the body can achieve it. And I'm going to have to fly to Windsor, England, and give you a hug, because you're my new best friend, Theresa.
Oh, sending lots of love, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here, you guys. Her name is Theresa Cheung. Her last name is spelled Cheung, Theresa with an H. Thank you so much, Theresa, for being here. And I cannot wait to dive deep into your books. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If there's anything I can do for you, don't hesitate.
Would love to have you back again.
Thanks for listening to Genuinely Gigi. Download new episodes every week. And if you haven't already, subscribe. And be sure to leave us a rating and review. And while you're at it, check out some of the other great shows available on Straw Hut Media.